Bryant DeLong,
Here.
Don Kramer, Anthony Bologna,
Here.
Natalie Scholl. Here. Jason Word,
Here.
James Godwin,
Here.
Scott Lakin.
Motion for approval of meeting minutes from from April 14th. Does anyone want to make that motion?
I'll move to approve the minutes.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Approved. All right, we'll move into public comments, and it looks like we have one. Kevin, you want to address that?
I don't have it. I don't know.
I'll read it, and then you, there you go.
Do you want me to read it?
Sure, go ahead. Okay. Thank you.
The election board clearly publishes deadlines for running for office on their website. If you cannot locate that information, you can call them for the information. The results should stand without making changes that tell the voters you do not like the candidates they voted for. So you want to have a second chance to put someone else in that office. The current system works.
So on, so we don't need to address that, right? Just, okay. On the, where we are now, I've distributed to you a draft of what I think we've done. And I'll tell you that my personal bias I have is I hate documents that are redlined, marked out. You know, they tend to be hard to follow, so I tried to simplify it a little bit. The yellow are the additions. The blue are sections that are being deleted. Of course, in the yellow, there are sections being deleted. They're replaced by the yellow. So I didn't go through and say, well, this is what we took out. This is how it now reads. So what I'd love to do is just have everybody take a look. We don't necessarily have to do it tonight, but at some point, either tonight or on your own, make sure that this embodies what you think we vote on. If anybody has second thoughts or I got it wrong, let's talk about that. Most of it was pretty simple, I thought. And then there is one fairly significant change that we'll get to if we want to talk, if we're going to go through them individually. And then, so if you want, if you want me to just kind of walk through them?
Yeah, I was just going to say, do you think we should just shoot through them and get it done?
Okay. So on second page, I think there was a consensus from the very first meeting to change, instead of Eastern District Commissioner at large, to call it at-large Eastern District Commissioner. Is that still where we are? Is everybody okay with that? And then I tried to make those changes for Eastern and Western where I saw them appropriate on pages 2 and 3. Page 4, very top, there was some discussion about we will only meet. The word only was inserted. I think that was from Mr. Lakin. And so I think everybody was consensus on that. And I'm just going to kind of just quickly go through these unless we don't like them. 2.07 compensation. This is the language I ended up with. Take a look. I know we spent a lot of time chewing on this. I tried to make it as simple as I could because I know there's a lot of discussion, particularly on retirement. And I don't really see a way for us to let them be eligible if they work enough in retirement. They're either eligible or they're not, in my opinion. Otherwise, there's just no way to police that properly. And so that's where I think we ended up. I think we had a lot of conversation about the presiding commissioner, what bump should he get or that office get, and we went back and forth, but I think we landed on 12 is fine and we're not going to change it. Then down on the bottom of 4, those 2 sections that you see in blue were deleted.
That's what blue means?
That's what the blue means, yeah. The blue means deletion. On the appointments of boards and commissions and on the appointment of a pro tem. And just to kind of simplify it, if you go 2 pages to the top of 6, that's where those have been transferred to, as we discussed, I believe. And so section 2.14, additional duties, is new, and it's got A and B in it. So if, again, that's where I think we landed on those 2 items. 2.11, we landed on, I believe we landed on any 2 of the non-presiding commissioner or commissioners may call a special meeting as deemed necessary. And so that's the addition there. We talked about, under powers and duties of the county administrator, 3.03, I added O. We originally talked about adding a lot of verbiage about what the specific authority is, but then I think we pulled back and say, hey, whatever authority he's given. So by Constitution, if in his contract, if they say, we authorize you to sign contracts up to $25,000, or we authorize you to do grants or sign releases, whatever it is. And I think that's a really clean way to do it. I really like, whoever made that suggestion, I thought that was really good, because that gives us the ability to change depending on the commission that we have and the administrator we have at any one time. Then, under 4.07, under budget, we added that the transfers would be through the approval of the budget officer and county commission. If we go to elections, starting on page 10, going to 11, this was also something we talked a lot about, and that we are no longer going to have a majority result in an election to an office, even if there's more than two, and that everything needs to go to November ultimately, if there's one or two candidates. So that, and again, I think we did that. And then 9.03, we had the language, this was at my recommendation just to make sure that it was clear that each commissioner gets the authority to appoint one member. And I think that is the last thing that I have. And if any of, so I feel like I should give a, what is this, a Jolly Rancher to the person who gets the thing that I didn't do.
Compensation.
Compensation. All good plans. Yeah, yes.
I don't want it, okay. Thank you.
Oh, I made it. The best laid plans, right? So we talked forever about the compensation of the prosecutor and the sheriff. And I think we need to hit the pause button on that because the legislature has passed a new bill that has been passed that addresses compensation of the prosecutor, and it's on the desk of the governor. And what it does is tied it directly to the circuit judge. And the bill specifically applies to charter counties. So what I'd like to do, and this will bleed into a conversation that we probably will have next, is I'd like to hit the pause button just to see, make sure it gets signed, make sure there's nothing that's going to get it vetoed or not signed. And I assume it'll take effect, but if it takes effect, that makes our discussion on the prosecutor at least irrelevant because it's going to apply.
Can I have the bill number?
2637,
Thank you.
House bill, HB.
Got it.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Where are we, I've lost track, where are we on our 90 days and wrapping this up?
If we want the August ballot, which I think is the thing we need to decide, I'd like to decide tonight, we have until May 26th, so that is 19 days. So we're in good shape still.
Because the governor didn't have to sign the bill till what, August?
Yes,
August
it would
decide.
take effect August 28th, and I don't know the exact, you would know better than I, the date that he.
I blocked that whole section of my life out.
Okay. But yes, now, he was signing bills as of yesterday. He signed
Yeah.
7 bills yesterday. And so I'm keeping an eye out for that. I'd like to just take a look and buy just a slight more amount of time on that. And I don't have the exact date on when our deadline is. I think it's like the second week in
June
June.
2nd?
Or
I wrote
first week
down-
in June?
So in the first meeting we had, it said, it was May 26th to get on the August ballot, June 2nd to get on the November.
Well, so the June 2nd is not, is,
To get on the ballot.
it's actually the deadline that you guys have to finish your work
Oh, to
by.
finish the
It's
work.
the deadline for the November ballot's August 26th.
it.
But the June 2nd,
Okay.
that was the date I was looking for. That's the expiration of your deadline to get your work done.
And if that statute is signed by the governor and put into law, we don't have to address it at all in the work we're doing.
There's no reason to address it, that's right.
Okay.
Then we would only have,
Do we need to address it just by taking it out? I'm trying to remember what we have in there right now.
right, what we have right now was that it will be, the base will be circuit judge, so that's the same, but then
What was already in there, though?
75%.
75%, or no, for prosecutor, it's.
Associate
It's a,
circuit.
no, it's associate circuit, though, yeah.
So we would take that out.
Yes,
For
that needs to come
prosecutor
out one
only,
way or
not
the other.
sheriff, though.
But it didn't, but this bill does not address sheriff,
Yeah.
that I could find. So so that is one of the things I'm looking now is there another bill somewhere else that addresses sheriff? Because it wouldn't surprise me if they did that. But I don't think there is. So anyway, so that is the short version of my last few weeks working on this. And so, does anybody have, so that, I went through those changes quickly. Did anybody see something, or other than the prosecutor sheriff's salary, did anybody say, hey, we did this and I don't see it? Anything like that,
So
comments?
just to clarify, everything that's in yellow, that's the change.
That's new
And
language.
that's going to be on the ballot.
That will be in the new document.
Okay, good. So not on the ballot with people vote on.
The ballot itself will not have that much verbiage.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
What's that? So then the ballot, once, that'll be the last thing we do is, our last meeting is actually work on the ballot language. If you look at 10.02, 10.02 had the ballot language from last time, which is essentially about a paragraph. So you're not going to put all of the language in, and it'll say something like, shall the Clay County Constitution be amended to, with the following, amendments or something like that, and it'll list topics and general concepts on what the amendments would look like.
Yeah, so it's not that big a deal for me, but I'll point out the at-large Eastern District Commissioner right in the beginning. I know that I proposed those changes when I thought we were going through a process of cleanup and clarification. And so then later we determined, okay, we're not going to do this whole cleanup and clarification. So for me, if it's simpler to leave it as it was, I'm okay with that. If it's, hey, these changes are, you see what I'm saying?
I don't want to step on anybody's toes. I don't see the change of where at large, if it's beginning or end of the title, makes a difference. If it's worth making a change to the document or not, I don't know that I see that. but,
Yeah. So that's what, I guess what I'm saying is, I proposed those, so now as I sit and know more about how we're doing this and what it means to the document and stuff like that, I'm fine
Not making those changes.
not making those changes, but it's,
How does everybody else feel about that?
Great with that.
Okay, again, I don't think it moves the needle much one way or the other. And in the absence of moving the needle, I'd prefer not to change the document.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But-
I agree.
Do we have a
Okay.
consensus on your side?
Okay, I will do
Yeah, we're
that.
good there.
Other comments, thoughts on the changes? And again, I'll encourage you to take this with you, read it. If you wordsmith it in a better way than I did, I'm fine with that, of course.
I didn't remember that we came to consensus on 703B, but the removal of if any candidate receives a majority of the votes cast greater than 50%, then that candidate will be deemed the elected and no general election will be held for that office.
Happy to hear that. That's where I thought we landed. I know we talked on both, and I know the members of the public spoke on this issue.
That's what I remember. We had a lot of.
Yes,
people
I
saying,
agree.
Okay, it's costly for the individuals, so
I had marked on my form on 703B that last from if any candidate receives a majority of the vote cast, I had that all struck and noted as out.
Okay, that's what I had.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that we did have.
That's,
consensus.
yes, yes. Yeah.
Just when you were going through them, that's the one that popped up, and I
Sure.
would say, I don't know.
Because I think if I remember, this was something that Scott was, really interested in making sure we have more elections, more accountability if as needed, so.
So that's saying
Mr.
if somebody
Chairman, can I-
does get more
can I
than
talk on that?
50%,
They still
they
have to be.
still.
So what this, to me, this says, if we have 3 or 4 or 5 candidates in August, even if one of them gets more than 50%, top two still move on to November.
Got it.
Is how it would be if we change it.
Where currently,
And so the big 2 changes were that, on the election side, and that even if there's only one person, they will be on the ballot in November.
That's D you're talking about. And we set out on D.
So, yeah, so I struck that, and so C is now new,
Right.
and I cleaned up the rest of that, yeah.
Off the old one, D.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
That's all, the only other thing tonight that I would love to get some direction on is maybe mapping out the rest of our meetings and kind of focused what we want to accomplish at each meeting. I think we need at least 2 more. And then the other thing is set our last meeting so that we know which ballot we're looking at.
Do we have the Liberty baseball schedule for?
That's actually what I'm trying to get right
I
now.
know.
We'll start with Anthony.
Did you say baseball schedule?
Yeah. It ends next week and then they go into the tournament.
Well, they'll get kicked early. They'll be out.
No, Liberty North I'm talking, not Liberty.
We strike that from the record.
Yeah. And I suggest we probably need at least 2 more meetings, and here's my thought on that, is the next meeting will be to kind of finalize the document, but also maybe specifically, are there any additions? We've really just been editing the current document. Does anybody have anything, this is probably a good time, there should be some moment where, hey, I'd like to see this in the document, it's not there. So that would be beyond editing, that would be, something new. So that's, I think, one meeting, and then the last meeting is ballot language and final vote.
How about the 14th, next Thursday? That's the next step.
Yeah, because we have to be out by 5:30, right? On Thursdays?
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that going to be a problem for what you want to discuss?
I mean, if somebody wants to have, show up with 15 new additions, then we'll take that time. I actually think it's good to do it earlier, because if nobody brings anything new, that, tells us where we are. But if somebody brings a lot, then we can set another meeting as needed. So that's good.
Is that work for you guys?
Next Thursday?
Next Thursday at 4 o'clock. We can't start, or can we do 3:30 or no? That's a problem.
Oh,
Okay, yeah.
No
yeah.
problem. I'm here anyway.
You can or
Mr.
cannot.
Chairman?
4 o'clock earliest?
I do think that
Okay, I'm here.
having a schedule and then also an agenda for what we're going to talk about would be helpful as we go into these last few meetings.
Yeah.
We'll have agendas like we've been getting.
Yes, but the next agenda, again, it's just, to me, it's going to be, comments on the current working draft. But 2, and maybe more importantly, and I don't know how to set this, is, does anybody, I mean, it's your guys' commission, does anybody have anything they want to add that is not in this document? Something brand new that we haven't had before?
Last meeting, last meeting, we talked extensively on giving the election board the opportunity to reopen and we talked about the 50.1% versus.
Yep.
I'm more concerned about the filing being reopened because, and we have an example now in Platte County, where the incumbent prosecutor withdrew, and less than an hour later, his handpicked successor came and filed for the office. And we've also had situation in Jackson County where the county executive, and I know Clay doesn't have a county executive's office, but they had a case where the incumbent Jackson County executive withdrew, and they reopened, for 5 days, they reopened the filing. And I just think there's some merit in that, because it'll help reduce the political games of, I'm going to file, no one will file against me, they're going to wait till I'm term limited or whatever, and then they withdraw and someone else almost immediately files. So I think there's an issue there that we at least should discuss to see if we can clean that up a little bit, and make sure that kind of rigging in the system doesn't happen in Clay County.
So what I'll do between now and next week, I will kind of review that, because my initial concern is.
Yeah, I sent you an email, did you
Yeah,
get
no,
it?
I
Okay.
looked at it, and I've been trying to research it. My initial concern is, I don't know that we have the authority to open up filing through this document.
Well, that's
And
what
that-
I'm asking.
I think that's an
Yeah.
election board issue and governed by state statute, but
Yeah.
I'm trying to work through that.
Because they were saying in Jackson, well, state law, mandates X, Y, and Z. And I think at my text to you, I said, does that apply to Clay County, all counties, that kind of thing? So if we can get some clarification on that,
So
that'd be
that'll be,
great.
that's a great example of something, as a group, let's talk about that next week.
So I'm
Okay.
going to go ahead real quick before we get too far down the line. For the 14th at 4 o'clock will be the next meeting.
Yeah.
I think everybody's all right with that, right?
It's my birthday, so did you want to bring
We're-
cookies?
Yes, can we get birthday cake brought in? Is that?
Did you really say it's your
It
birthday?
is my birthday.
Oh, that was a mistake.
But what better way to spend my 50th birthday?
That's
than in this
right.
Beautiful building with beautiful people. Sarcasm.
Perfect.
Yeah, we can do different.
No, as long as we're up by 5:30. and you
We will,
didn't miss.
yeah.
No
The rest of
problem.
the night.
Then, so I think we should set what I'm going to call our last meeting. We might end up needing to add one in between the two, but I wouldn't mind doing that, and I wonder, how does May 28th look? If we've kind of, it seems like we've moved towards Thursdays.
I'm free.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I'm out from the 23rd till June 6th, so.
That's a problem. Oh, that's a
You
problem.
might have to miss one.
Okay, so
We can do the 21st.
Is the 19th, what's your 19th look like?
we can do the 21st. Well,
21st, we're going to be
We're
gone.
both out of town.
But the 19th looks like
Yeah.
it might be open.
okay,
It is for me, too.
Tuesday, the 19th?
I guess we don't have the calendar, though, that we had before, if the room is open or.
Are you going to be somewhere that you could do a Zoom appearance or phone appearance if we need to?
You mean in between the 20, no,
Before June 2nd, if we needed something?
I'll be out of the country.
Okay,
so-
okay, okay.
Can we just hold that for a minute so I can see? I'm trying to get the tournament schedule. I'm not missing the tournament.
You just want to hold off until next week on setting our next meeting? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
that'd be great. Well, unless I get a text. I'm trying to track
fine.
down the Misha.
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay.
What, and kind of a related concept, what ballot do we like?
It doesn't matter to me.
Do you have a recommendation?
More people will show up in November. And- Yeah.
It's not a huge, we got this 26th, you got the 2nd, so you really just got a week.
Yeah.
A holiday weekend, right? in between.
Was this passed in August?
November. We purposely put it in on November. Yeah,
You say 2nd.
okay. So I will, from our perspective, we'll plan on that.
The other problem in August is people are taking vacations before school starts and stuff like that.
We have 6 weeks. We got 6 weeks to vote.
Yeah, let's hold that till
Okay, yeah, that's fine. So we'll plan on meeting next week, confirm our hopefully last meeting, and we'll shoot for the November ballot. Between now and next week, again, please take a look. No pride in authorship. If you like something, you want to rework the verbiage, fine. And if you have something new you want to bring, next week's the week to do it.
Okay, got it.
So, and shockingly, we could be done fairly soon tonight if you want to be. I mean, that's,
I mean, I didn't really have anything else tonight. This will give you something to study a little bit more. And
Yep.
if I have any other
perfect.
thoughts, and bring those at the next meeting for me.
I think we accomplished what I really wanted to get accomplished, so I think we got a plan.
Administrator comments?
No, I was actually looking at the schedule just to see, but both the 19th and the 20th, everything's open from pretty much 4 o'clock on. So if we need those timeframes, we'll keep those open on our end.
And Tuesday might be a good date because we don't have to be out by 5:30, so if we
Yeah.
go longer, we'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll keep that one in mind then. Anything else from county administrator comment?
No,
Okay. County council comments?
Nothing more?
Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Have a great night.
I can't be home too early.
Nice job, gang.